What's up, everyone? I'm here with Yukiko Taylor, the founder of Curl, and today we're going to be talking about how she's using video in her haircutting salon and how it's changed amidst the pandemic. Hi, Yukiko.
Hi, Max. Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on the show. So question number one, can you just tell me a little bit about yourself, what you do, what your hobbies are, where you're from?
So I have a salon that specializes in naturally curly hair in Olympia, Washington. And when I'm not working, I enjoy creating and crafting. So, I do crochet, I do knitting, I do needlepoint, and I also enjoy doing graphic design and videos. And I'm kind of all over the place with my hobby situation. And photography, I've done that too.
There we go. So very creative background.
Yes.
And how did you find WeVideo, and how did you was WeVideo what got you into creating video, or did you have a little experience prior to that?
Well, I had not had any experience with video. I have taken several social media webinars and in-person classes before the pandemic. And one of the things that they always say about social media and your business is that video is king and is going to growingly become more so in the future, and it truly has. So that's when I realized I needed to learn how to make videos, and so I just went online and did a search, and WeVideo came up, and I saw that they had a great tutorial walkthrough. And I did that before creating my first video. It helped tremendously. My first video did take me around 10 hours to produce. And that's not including the shooting time of the video. That's just putting it all together. But now that I've, got my feet under me with the software and knowing, the basics, I'm able to create a video pretty quickly now.
Awesome. That's what we like to hear.
Yeah.
Was your first video kind of a passion project, or was your first video for Curl?
My first video was for Curl, and I think it was the one that you contacted me about with the clients walking in the door.
Okay.
Because I wanted to show, all the happy clients that come in, and it was kind of a fun shooting day. They'd come in and I'd say, hey, do you want to be part of a video? Go back outside. So that was kind of funny. And I really liked that one.
Would you say that's the video you're most proud of?
I don't know. Each time I make one, I feel like I've topped the last one. I did really enjoy that video, and for that reason, I've wanted to recreate it in our new space because we have moved, and I just haven't gotten around to it. That video, once I did it, I realized I should have shot in horizontal rather than, portrait mode, and the lighting was not good. And so I feel like each time I've made a video, they've gotten slightly better.
Awesome. So yeah, we'd love to take a look at either that video or another video you're proud of and kind of get a glimpse of your timeline and see your process.
Okay. I do have a short one kind of set up that only has like 3 tracks. Super simple. But I do have one that I did want to share. It's a longer video, but it's one that we used. Oh, let me think. Sorry, this will be edited out. Well, let me just show you. I enjoy a lot of the fun stuff. Our brand is jovial and happy. We have a good time. But this is one that I really like that we did recently. We needed some training models for doing some highlights for our newest stylist. So this one is just a really quick, like less than 6 seconds that I wanted to share. That is one.
So
very short.
Love it. So this looks like it's in square format. Was this were you using this as like an Instagram ad or social media?
Yes, I definitely social media, Facebook and Instagram.
Gotcha. And are you running a fair amount of video ads, or is this an ad, or is this just a social post?
This was an ad. It wasn't like one of the paid ads,
Okay.
Yeah. So it was just a social post. We have a pretty good following. And so usually the videos, they do perform much better than just a post.
Right.
So this one, we got a couple of models. We only wanted one or two, so we got a couple to choose from, and she was able to do her practice. Okay, so this one is for because of the pandemic, we need to shorten our service. And our new client service, we cover a lot of ground. We do a lot of teaching. So my goal with this video was to send it to the client prior to their appointment, like the day or two before, so that they can be familiar with what we are going to be talking about, but a little bit more in-depth review over ingredients and things like that we go over with them at their first appointment.
Awesome.
And what I love about WeVideo is all of the stock media. So I'm able to create a video that looks a lot more professionally done. I do have the B-roll of me talking, and which, everybody hates seeing themselves on video. And so I'm able to take a lot of the stock media and play it over myself. And that seems to be the way that I enjoy doing videos, because they look so much more polished and professional.
Right.
So as far as like some of the fun stuff that we use, it's just being kind of jumpy. Sorry, my internet's not the best.
Okay, no worries.
So I use this pause button and
a lot of text overlay. Love it.
yes, I do use I do my own subtitles, and that is because we have several deaf clients. And a long time ago, when I did a live Facebook video, one of them commented, subtitles would be nice. I don't understand what you're saying. And so from there on, I made it a point to do the subtitles, and I found a really good workflow that works for me. I don't know how to do automatic programmed subtitles, but the way that I do it is if it's a live video, I just type and do my transcribe. So I transcribe it first into a document.
Okay.
And then once I have the whole video done, then I go in and drop in my subtitles. And so I found a really good workflow that makes it go so much faster. And this video was the first video I used a teleprompter app on my tablet. So that helped it to go a little bit more smoothly and way quicker. And so obviously I have this lady in the shower, and so many of these, a lot of times I'll even create a video. I'll be wondering, oh, what can I create? And maybe there's something out there that in the stock media that can give me a good idea for just a promo. And I have one I could show you that I had in mind. It's pretty funny. It's like I said, I'm all about the funny stuff. And sometimes I totally get it, but I'll show my family and they'll be like, what does that even mean? sometimes I have to go back to the drawing board, but you know, but this was a pretty neat sequence that I used to illustrate.
On the hair, it becomes a barrier that makes water bounce off. It does not,
and it's actually more smooth than what you're seeing.
Not getting fully hydrated.
But the water word stays on the balloon, and it was an animation that I was able to do, and I felt like that was a win. The only thing I was wishing that we could have would be this. Looks like it. I want it to look like it's laying down on a table, and I couldn't figure out how to do that. But that's
I
one
see.
thing. Yeah, so it looks like the balloon is bouncing off of those words.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah, kind of like some 3D text.
yeah. And I suppose I could have done that online in another program, but with doing this video, it was so long that I was just kind of done by that point.
And
But
does this having this video beforehand and sending to clientele, does this speed up your process?
yeah, that was the purpose of it. And so that when they do come in, they're already familiar, and so we can skip some of it and really get to the nitty gritty of what they're using in their hair. So yeah, and that way, the point was to accelerate the service, which normally takes 2 hours, and we wanted to accelerate it to about an hour and a half.
Okay.
Because during the pandemic, we're limited to one stylist per client, or one client per stylist at a time. We're at a 25% capacity. In our industry, we usually are, if someone's processing their color, we have another haircut that we're doing during that empty time while they're just sitting there. And time is money in our industry. And since we can't have someone sitting there, it's costing us, a lot. And
right.
So hopefully by accelerating, the new client appointment, which we have, a lot of, we are just buying ourselves more client base.
And it seems like this practice of having the video beforehand is something that you can continue to use even when you're able to operate at full capacity and still save time. So
right. Yeah.
So good investment either way.
We also, during the shutdown last year, we were shut down for about, I want to say, we were shut down from March 17th to May 31st. And so I wanted to let clients know that we were doing virtual consultations, and also that we were having product pickup available. So that really helped. And that's the other silly one I wanted to show you. Can I show that real quick?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay. I was looking for elevator music.
Love it. And you get pretty good engagement with these on social media?
We do, yeah. Yeah, that's yeah. And so people, that's what they do, is they're like, oh yeah, that reminded me, I need to, I'm almost out of conditioner. Let me just call and get that set up. And I was doing porch pickup. I moved all of my retail operations and was doing that from home. So people would come and pick it up off of my porch, and that worked really well. So, but sometimes I'm just like, oh, I really need to create a video. And I start brainstorming and just kind of looking through what's available in the stock media. And then it just gets my creative, flow going. And so that's been, super fun. Since I upgraded my membership to the stock videos, I feel like I, have done so much better as far as my capabilities and things like that. Totally worth it. I've really enjoyed enjoyed that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love how even with your subtitles that you do kind of like a semi-transparent rectangle behind that. And then obviously, yeah, it looks like you're taking full advantage of the stock media and the motion titles.
Yeah, and then all of the options for music and sound effects and things like that. You asked me about passion projects, and I also have used the podcast or just making audio files. Because I have a grandbaby, and while she's still really young, her parents read her books. And I just remembered when I was a kid, I loved those little books with the record in it. And I think in later years, tapes were available. But in my day, it was like a little record and a sleeve of the book. And I was like, I want to make some audiobooks for my grandbaby. And so I did that with a couple of books. One was a Grover's Guide to Good Manners, and one was How Fletcher Was Hatched. And I got to use a lot of the sound effects that are available.
Oh, that's great.
Like squeaky doors or, background chatter of children in a playground type of stuff, belching, that's in the Good Manners book, stuff like that. So, those were really fun to do as well. And I read the book, and I also found the chime sound, because remember in those books it said, you will know when it is time to turn the page when you hear the chimes ring like this. Ring.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's great.
So I did that whole thing and basically recreated my childhood.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask, obviously, what are some features that you love about WeVideo? But it looks like we've covered that. So for all of our new users out there, what are some tips and tricks that you would give to someone just starting off with WeVideo?
Okay. Yes. So I mentioned already when I first signed up with WeVideo, the practice project came up, and I know I've seen it elsewhere. I've seen it since then. The one with the sword fighting.
Oh yeah.
With the knight, yeah. And that's the one I kind of cut my teeth on. And when I wanted to have my receptionist create a short video, I had her play around with that too, so she could get an idea of how to create a video. And so that I would definitely, recommend going with that, because it does give you a lot of like shortcuts, like you can use the space bar to hit play and pause, and, as opposed to moving your mouse around constantly. So that's really handy. And sometimes I think I want to go back through and do it again so I can pick up more of the shortcuts now that I know what I'm working with. I know that there are shortcuts I remember seeing, but back when I was first learning it, it was all just Greek, and new stuff and mind blowing. And so I know I don't use those shortcuts to the full capability. So I want to relearn those.
Yeah, we've done a Tuesday tips and tricks episode on just all of the different keyboard shortcuts.
Okay.
Yeah. So I can link to that during the live show as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, and also following the page too. I've enjoyed, the helpful tips and tricks and things like that. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Well, that's pretty much it for our time today, Kiko. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure to be on with you. I'm a huge fan of WeVideo and huge fan of yours, because I watch your tips and tricks and I'm like, oh, he has such great curly hair. So I can give you a referral down in San Diego if that's where you're at.
That is a bit of a trek. Yeah, I'm based here in Mountain View. But
okay.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah.